Alrighty, fellow travelers, welcome back to Adventures of a Traveling Don. My name is Benjamin O, and we are continuing our journey across the West series, and we have made it to California. We are here in Northern California in the Sonoma Valley. We're going to be hitting up 3 different wineries today to show you kind of like all the different types of wineries that they have here in Sonoma, California. So the first stop we are at here in Sonoma County is the famous Gloria Ferrer caves and vineyards. And if you've ever had any kind of sparkling wine, you enjoy sparkling wine, this is one of the top places to come to. So we're gonna go ahead and go in and do a wine tasting, but I can tell you right now, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous winery. The setup inside is fantastic. They have, of course, a promenade that looks out onto this just sweeping, sweeping Sonoma Valley view. So definitely enjoy Gloria Ferrer with us, guys. So when you come to Gloria Ferrer, one of the things that, because they are so popular, generally you want to come in with a reservation. We actually just made this as a last-minute decision to come here, and we were lucky enough to get into a spot. And what was actually kind of cool is because when you usually do a reservation, you'll sign up for at minimum a tasting, and then there's other things you can add into food, all that kind of good stuff. But the guy came by, one of the, is he the manager, Dad, or was he the owner?
He's basically a concierge.
The concierge, okay. So kind of like one of their sommelier concierge guys came over and he's like, well, why don't we try, because you guys are coming off the street, why don't we try a couple different things, and then we're just gonna order, you know, a wink wink, and we'll get a bottle for you guys, so whichever one we wanted to pick. So we have like 3 different wines in front of us. You have, of course, the traditional Brut right here, which is just like, we've been sampling. This is fantastic. It's almost kind of like just like crisp, like Washington apple. It's absolutely fantastic. So cheers to you guys. Oh, so good. And see, I'm not the biggest, you know, bubbly kind of guy, champagne, stuff like that. It's every so often, but on a nice day like this, it's warm, sunny outside, this is absolutely fantastic. Now, the one that we ended up actually, we're going to getting a bottle of it shortly, this is the Alchemia, I believe it's called, Alchemia, correct? Alchemia Rosé. Yeah, Alchemia Rosé. So it's a Brut style Rosé, very light compared to the third one that we got, which is the Royale. So, I'll give you the first one here, the Alchemia. Oh yeah, it's just that touch of kind of like floral sweetness to it, which is really, really nice. And then of course, like the Royale was the third one that we got to try.
They call that the 1,000-pound.
And that's got like a just touch more like bite to it. I'd say kind of like more apricotish to an extent, but it's real. All 3 of them are fantastic. I haven't actually been here since 2014 was the last time we came, when I was driving through Northern California, and you know, Dad took us here like almost pretty much 9 years ago, almost to the day. And it hasn't changed too much. I think there's a little bit of an expansion they had on the outside, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous estate. So if you're ever in Sonoma County and you want to come out for a nice thing of caviar, which I'll show you guys in a minute. We're going to have some of that little charcuterie, and then of course the bubbles. You got to come here to Gloria Ferrer. Make sure you get that reservation. The caviar has arrived, so we're getting fancy pinkies out, everybody. Oh my god. It comes with a little creme fraiche, and then I think like little chopped up like cucumbers or whatnot that go with that. And then it just got a little bit of chives in there. And you just put the caviar on that. That's fantastic. I know not everybody likes caviar, but I do. And it's absolutely fantastic. Of course, everybody's favorite moment is the charcuterie. So a couple different cheeses, a couple different salamis on there. Try that out. That's so good. Oh my god, that's delicious. Yum, yum. All right, so that was Gloria Ferrer. We're now going to head over to a place called Ramsgate Vineyard. I actually haven't been to this particular one. I don't think actually the whole family has been. Michael, we haven't been. You guys haven't been yet, have you?
No.
No. Okay, so it'll be everybody's first time at Ramsgate. But one thing to remember with Gloria Ferrer, it is a little pricey. You know, it used to be, I think when I was here the last time 9 years ago, like a tasting was $20. It has since gone up, I think, post-pandemic, to like $60. That's why it's like, if you know a specific style of brut, rosé, sparkling, anything that they have, you have a specific style that you already know you like, it might actually be better to just come in and order a bottle of something and split. Then otherwise it's $60 per tasting per person. So it can get up there when it comes to price value for that. But that's just one little kind of like tip I wanted to throw out for you guys. So we're here at the second winery, and this is Ramsgate. This is just down the street from Gloria Ferrer, and the third place that we'll go to later on, which is Viansa. Now this is kind of like the meat of where we were gonna go. This is our original reservation, and it's kind of cool because they have a wine and bites flight. It's like a five wine tasting, actually 6, because they just gave us something to just kind of get us going. Again, a little bit more bubbles. So, but it is about $80 for non-wine members, but you get 5 tastings of wine, plus you get, at least with 4 of them, you get a little bite to go with it. So it's actually kind of cool. You know, it's a whole experience. Whereas in Gloria Ferrer was just, you know, trying the wine. So, but Dad, how did you find this place?
Internet. No, we've drove by many times to go to Viansa. Viansa was one of our favorite wineries. Ramsgate is one of the newest ones. We've never stopped by, but this time we decided, you know what, try something different. So it gives us an idea what they're really made of. Their specialty is definitely Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Syrah. So it is something that we want to try and see what happens.
So you're going to be trying it with us for the very first time. So a quick little thing before we get into the tasting. Ramsgate is actually comparable to the rest of Sonoma and Napa, is rather young. You know, they started, I think they bought the property back in 2008 from a local family that used to live here, and they opened up in 2011. So you're thinking we're at about 12 years. So the vines themselves are actually just getting into a mature phase. So if you come here in the future, after this video, the wine's just gonna get better and better. It's right across the way from the Sonoma Speedway. So NASCAR was here recently, I think like a week or 2 weeks before filming, which we're in the middle of June when we're filming this particular one. But it's a beautiful, beautiful small estate. It's not super big like Robert Mondavi or anything like that, but it's got a nice aesthetic to it. It has these kind of like gnarly, like olive trees and stuff around. It's absolutely gorgeous. And they have kind of like this, what's cool is when they do the tasting, they actually give you a map of where within the estate all the grapes are grown. So it is absolutely, absolutely fantastic. We're starting off with their estate Sauv Blanc. Right now, this is the 2021 that I'm having, so cheers. And that's very interesting, because Sauv Blancs you usually think of as, you know, very acidic, very citrusy, grapefruit, lime, lemon, depending on where you're getting them, particularly if you get like Marlborough from New Zealand. But that's actually, weirdly enough, almost more buttery Chardonnay style. It's an odd Sauv Blanc. It's not bad. It's just it's different when I think of Sauv Blanc. It's not that citrusy style. So our second round, basically, we got both of the Chardonnays, and so you have both the El Diablo and the Hyde. Now, the grapes for this particular one come from different wineries around the region, but it's gonna be interesting because, you know, you have 2 back-to-back Chardonnays. You think, oh man, maybe they're the same, because all their wines here are aged in French oak. So you might think, oh, it might be the same. But you have to remember, these are from slightly different regions around the area. So we have the tasting with us. So the first one is going to be the El Diablo Chardonnay. So cheers to you guys. I'll try a little bit of that.
Yep. That smokiness.
This is good.
It's interesting. It's not bad. It does have kind of like almost like smoky, if you had like barbecue or something, like this would be perfect. They do pair it with a little bit of smoked trout on purple radish. So we're gonna try some of that radish and trout that's stuffed in there. First off, that's delicious. And we'll try it with a little bit of this too. Well, that goes very nice together. That is very, very nice. And of course, the second Chardonnay is the Hyde, and this also comes with a roasted pepper hummus and with a little kind of like a brioche crumble. And it's just kind of like on this nice little spoon there. It's actually really good. Oh, that's amazing. Oh my God, that's amazing. I'm gonna try that real quick with the Hyde Chardonnay.
You need to try it with the hummus, honey.
I know, you take it first.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's fascinating because these two Chardonnays, you think about it, the Diablo is, as it says, it has smoke to it. You know, Diablo, fires of hell.
It cuts that.
It's amazing. This one, this does have more of the oakiness to it. Wow. And it's a that is actually fascinating that it's like two different Chardonnays. Which one did you like, Michael?
I think drinking it by itself is the Hyde. The El Diablo with the trout is better.
Yeah, I would personally agree. Like it's fascinating. One is more of a just pure drinking wine, and one is more of a food pairing wine, which is how it goes. But that's fantastic. That's really kind of cool. Just the discrepancies on that. All right, so the fourth wine is what is the Gaps Crown Vineyard Pinot Noir. So I don't drink a whole lot of Pinot Noirs. Usually around,
It's very good with
you know,
food.
if it is summertime, this is probably the red that I generally go with. But most of the time, yeah, I'm drinking Cab, Syrah, stuff like that. So we're gonna try this real quick.
Much better.
Not bad.
Tastes much
Light.
better.
So this one is up?
Very heavy on, like, if you were to have like cranberry juice but without any of the sugar or anything like that, just pure cranberries. It does have that kind of pucker taste to it. It does pair though with this herbed, what do we got here?
Cranberry.
Yeah, cranberry and cranberry goat cheese with a little bit of pecan in there as well. So we're gonna try some of this real quick.
Food.
Oh, see, I love goat cheese. And that's fantastic. Now let's pair that with real quick.
That goat cheese is so good.
The goat cheese is very well done, especially with it pairs very well with
Oh my God, that's amazing. See, I would have thought with cranberry in the goat cheese and this being almost kind of like cranberry flavored, I thought that would have been too much cranberry, but it actually counteracts each other. That's actually really good. So I was gonna take a picture of Mom and Dad, but I was not allowed to because my younger brother is a professional photographer. So even if it's with a camera phone, he is supposed to be taking all the pictures. So, you know, we got to leave it to the professional.
Professional photographer.
Look at that! Look at that camera. That's absolutely
A real camera.
In all honesty, I will leave a link to his website. He actually does really, really good photos. So if you are looking for something to hang it on the wall, he's got some good stuff. It's really nice. So their final wine on the tasting is the Durrell Vineyard Syrah. So we're going to give this Syrah a quick taste real quick. What you think, Michael? Good stuff?
It's light for a Syrah.
Yeah.
But it's very easy to drink.
It's not very heavy body, considering some Syrahs that I've had in the past.
Nice and velvety.
However, what we're going to try is their soy balsamic glazed bacon Brussels sprout. It's got very tiny little pieces of bacon on there. Right. Okay, first and foremost, that's an awesome Brussels sprout. Wow. That just punched you in the mouth with that flavor. Now let's try this with that.
The chef is really great.
Chef's fantastic.
Fantastic. And then with all this
Okay, again, like, interestingly enough, the wines we've tasted so far today here at Ramsgate, at least 3, if not 4 of the 5 are more food wines, which is why you get the pairing with it, than easily drinkable without any food. This is more like, honestly, this place is very much what I would consider an experience place, where you add the food and the wine together. This is fantastic. All right, so we got a little bit of a bonus round going on here. If you come here to Ramsgate, if he's working, ask for Mark, but because he gave us this little bonus dish at the end when it comes to the Cabernet. This is their 2019 Cellar Note.
That's definitely
Yeah.
That is a good Cabernet. I mean, you're talking about this I don't need food with. I'm sure food would be good with it, but this is a very drinkable cab by itself. It's just, wow, that's really good. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed Ramsgate Winery. We have now moved on to the town of Sonoma, and we're actually shooting this on a second day. After Ramsgate, we had a little bit of a family thing that we had to get back to. We were running out of time, but we come back up here to finish this off before we head off to Viansa, which is the third winery that I promised you guys. That's our family's favorite. I've split off from mom and dad. We are now here with my brother Michael, but we're gonna show you the town of Sonoma, a little bit of the history of this area, how the Sonoma Valley started, and then we'll go hit up that last winery. So when you come to the town of Sonoma, the first central spot is going to be, of course, the main plaza here. And I can tell you right now, aesthetically, it is absolutely gorgeous. So it's a nice small little park that's got these beautiful towering trees. It's got this own little rose garden with several different species of roses. Absolutely gorgeous. Of course, over there, you'll have the bus system for Sonoma County. You can take the shuttles, go into different spots. And it's really, really, really kind of cool. Of course, you know, the way that they set up the buildings and the architecture is just, it does have a little bit of that older feel to it. And it's just, this is really cool. I mean, this is one of the better small squares that I've ever seen. Even like the fountain and everything. Absolutely, absolutely fantastic. Okay, I slightly correct myself. This Central Park is actually a little bit bigger than I thought. There's one half which we were at earlier with the rose garden. And then you come over here to this nice big old pond that's got ducks. There's a bunch of turtles in there, which is really cool. Got a couple of different fountains, beautiful bridge. Again, the aesthetics over here is fantastic. A little bit different than that side. But yeah, that's a little bit bigger than I thought it was. This is gorgeous though. Really cool. Well done, Sonoma. So if you really want to dig into the history of Sonoma and also how the history of wine started, you have to start here on the north side of the plaza here in Sonoma. And this is the Sonoma, California Historic State Park. And it's just kind of like a half a block on both sides of the street where you can kind of see some of the old historical buildings that are still here that they have preserved, including the old mission. That was where it's all started. It started in 1823 with, I think his name was Father Jose Altamira, and it was actually, I believe, the last of the missions in California. They have 21 missions in California. This was the last one built in 1823, and it's the only one that was built under the Mexican Republic, because everything else was all Spanish missionaries built under the Spanish Empire. However, in 1821, that is when Mexico declared and won independence from Spain. So this mission and this area right here, the historic park, all of this was built during the time of Mexico. So it's an interesting little unique tidbit about the mission here. The mission's name is Mission San Francisco de Solano. So definitely look that up, check it out. You got a lot of historical facts here. They have all these beautifully crafted like arts and plaques that give you the history of Sonoma, the mission itself, everything that happened in this area. And of course, Father Altamira was the first to grow grapes in this area, even including Napa. Here in Sonoma, Napa, everything like that, the wine region up here, all started here, right on these grounds in 1824 by Father Altamira. So just a little history lesson there of Sonoma, and of course the beginnings of wine here in Sonoma, Northern California, and Napa Valley. Alright, so I don't know about you, but history and studying history always makes me hungry. Honestly, almost everything in life makes me hungry, as you could probably attest with all the food that I eat on this channel. But while you're here in Sonoma, before we head off to that third winery, if you want something to eat and somewhat inexpensive, given that it is Sonoma, come down here off the main square. It is called Mary's Pizza Shack, and it was established in 1959. It's in this one of the historical adobe buildings here. Really kind of cool looking. Traditional, almost like diner style, but they are known for, of course, pizza, but other stuff as well, like including the beast that my brother Michael got, which is the meatball, their Italian meatball sub. It's almost done in like an open-face style. Like just take a look at that. It's absolutely huge. How is it, Michael? Good stuff. Yeah. There's 20 head shake nods. He's like, yes, thumbs up. And of course, I got myself just a small, nice Bambino pizza. This is the smallest version, and it's still decent size. And this is like 12 bucks for the pizza. A little extra for the extra toppings. I added some garlic, cheese, pepperoni, extra cheese, pepperoni, stuff like that in there. But we'll go ahead and give it a little bit of a taste real quick for you guys. That crust is fantastic. Not too much sauce, but yeah, that's actually really, really good pizza. So, but I am still kind of jealous of that meatball sub, because that thing came out, I was like, holy crap, for like 14, 15 bucks you get that big beast. That's amazing. All right, guys, so we have made it to the third and final winery here in Sonoma that we'll be doing for this video, and this is my favorite. This is called Viansa. I've been here a few different times before when I've come to visit Dad, and it's fantastic. It is modeled after a Tuscany style villa in Italy, and having been to Italy, it reminds me of those trips and of the time that I would have out there. And it's got this broad sweeping view, as you can see, of the valley. Got the lake in the background. And just the aesthetics of it is fantastic. It's truly, truly Italian. Inside, they have an Italian marketplace. If outside of the tasting room itself, once you get your wine, you can come out here and you can go ahead and get some Italian meats from the deli, cheeses, caviar, olives, whatever you want, some pastries. And then, of course, they can also sell in the market different varieties of olive oil and a bunch of other stuff. It is an absolutely remarkable place. And like I said, the architecture itself, it is modeled very much after an Italian Tuscany villa. And it's, like I said, one of my favorite places. And they do make some great wine. They do have some Italian varietals, but they also make the wine up here. So I got myself their Cab Franc 2021, one of my favorites. Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, if you're ever in Sonoma doing a wine tour, make sure you put Viansa on the list. Alright guys, so that was a lot of fun. Sonoma is one of my favorite places when I come here to Northern California. It is an absolute pleasure to go there every time. Of course, it's nowhere near as busy as Napa, which is what I like. You know, it's a little bit less crazy, it's a little less chaotic, it's a little bit more chill, shall we say. But I hope you guys enjoyed the history, and of course I hope you guys enjoyed all the tours of those 3 wineries. Definitely recommend any one of those 3 whenever you do a Sonoma wine tour. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below, and I'll definitely get to those as soon as I can. And of course, if you liked the video, give it a big old thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting for? And of course, if you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon account. Links will be in the down and below in the description, as well as my Buy Me a Coffee account as well. But I do appreciate the support, guys. I do appreciate you joining me on this particular adventure. But all right, guys, until the next time, I will see you on this journey across the West. Until then, peace out and have a great night.